quizzes they make you take. Like, how are places supposed to know how good of a worker you are from a quiz? When I first started applying to places, I answered those questions truthfully. But then when I was getting desperate, I just answered strongly agree or strongly disagree. My opinions were never somewhat. This one time I applied to a grocery store and this woman took me in the break room and then she told me to wait and then she left for 20 minutes. Yeah, I timed it. And I didn't want to start playing on my phone just in case she came back and saw how irresponsible I was being. So I seriously just sat there doing nothing for 20 minutes. And I was in the break room. Other employees just walked in and out and no one was acknowledging my existence. Does that mean I can just walk into any other break room, just sit down and no one's going to stop me? But then the lady finally came back with another girl, and this girl was being trained to be a manager, so the lady was using me to teach her how to interview people. So they sat across from me and they were just talking to each other, and they were saying stuff like, so you can't ask him if he's 18, you have to ask him if he's over 18. Are you over 18? No. Okay, so you're gonna check the not hire box right there. I applied to a Chipotle and I freaking got an interview, right? They didn't hire me, obviously. But then I applied to a different Chipotle and I got an interview there too. And apparently the other Chipotle snitched on me because I get to this Chipotle and the lady there asks me, did you already apply here? And I told her I got an interview at a different Chipotle and she sits me down and starts telling me about how Chipotle is looking for a certain type of person working for them. But all I heard was, get out of this store, you stupid, stupid boy. What makes you think I would ever hire you? Certain type. Are you looking for a person who puts all the sour cream on one half of the burrito? Is that what you mean by certain type? Because you seem to have an excess amount of people of that certain type. Hashtag boycott Chipotle because they didn't hire James like 3 years ago. Apparently, I was that certain type of person who worked at Subway because that's where I finally got hired. I'm not sure if that's an insult or not. And okay, I don't want to brag, but I was one of the best employees that Subway ever had. I was always on time or 5 minutes late, no in between. I never called in last minute saying I needed someone to cover my shift. In fact, I think I covered the most shifts. And whenever I closed with another person, the manager would usually complain about the work the other person did. So all those places that didn't hire me, you missed out. So this next story happened after I got a job at Subway. I didn't want to work with sandwiches anymore, and I didn't want to keep being paid minimum wage. So I actually like math, right? I'm pretty freaking smart. And hold on, I just need to say something. A lot of people ask me what I was going to major in college because they think I did something artsy and that's what they want to do. I actually majored in math education. That's right, I wanted to be a math teacher, not this artsy stuff. Ugh. So I applied to be a math tutor at my community college. Like, that would have been the perfect job. I'm a math education major, I want to be a math teacher, and this job would give me good practice for the actual job. So in this interview, they gave you a practice problem, and then you had to teach the people getting the interview, which makes sense. I think all jobs should have a practice instead of an interview. For some stupid reason, I was only allowed to teach the math that I had completed, and I did AP Calculus in high school, but for another stupid reason, the credits didn't transfer. Maybe it was because I didn't do the AP test, who knows? So I had to do calculus in community college again. So when I was applying, I could only tutor algebra and trigonometry. I got my practice problem, and it was so obviously a calculus problem. It was one of those, this is person A's distance over time, and this is person B's distance over time. Who's going faster at this time? Okay, that's an easy problem, okay? Take my word for it. But since these people I was quote-unquote tutoring didn't know calculus, I couldn't use calculus to teach them. Do you guys know what a derivative is? No. And I did my dang darndest best teaching them what calculus was, but then at the end, they told me that I did it wrong. Like, my answer was completely wrong. They said something like, oh, I was assuming they were going the same direction. I don't freaking know. And I felt super stupid and embarrassed. And I told them, yeah, okay, I'll leave. And as I was walking to my car, I was doing the problem in my head, and I was like, no, I did it right. And then in the car, I even got out a piece of paper and I did the problem again. No, I'm still right. So the whole time I was so bummed out. I totally blew that interview. They're not going to hire me. But then that night I got a phone call and it's the people and they told me, hey, so we're talking about that problem with some of the calculus teachers and they all agree that problem has some elements of calculus. So that leads me to believe that these three really didn't know what a derivative was. But then they told me they'd give me a second chance. Ooh, I was ecstatic. I had to go to Target and buy another nice shirt because I only own one nice shirt and it would be weird if I showed up in the same shirt. I get there, I get the problem about a farmer and his fence. I totally nailed that problem. I knew exactly how much fence that farmer needed to build 2 pens, with one being 2x plus 3 units larger. His farm animals were going to be so happy. Hit me up if you need any more help, dude. The whole time I kept asking them, do you guys understand? And they said, yeah. So I thought I was doing good. I left feeling a lot more confident. But then they never called me back, so I didn't get the job, even though I bought a nice shirt from Target. And I kept working at Subway, and the world lost what could have been an awesome math teacher that day. This is what I'm thinking. They're probably just embarrassed that they gave me a calculus problem, and then I totally got it right in front of them, and then they thought it would have been awkward if we were...
I only hit snooze once. Well, no more than twice. My schizophrenia symptoms can make it tough to get going, and I don't want to worry about taking another daily schizophrenia pill. I'm doing better. I'm helping out at the cafe. Most days, I can spend my time doing what I like, even though every day I live with schizophrenia.
Talk to your doctor about Invega Trinza, paliperidone palmitate. It's the only schizophrenia treatment that helps control symptoms for 3 months with 1 dose. You'll start on a monthly version of this medication for at least 4 months. Invega Trinza is not for everyone. Elderly patients with dementia taking Invega Trinza have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor if you have high fever, stiff muscles, and confusion to address a possible life-threatening